This is interesting. It's some kind of a water feature underneath that building. Perhaps it was an original place for watering cows and livestock or doing the laundry. Now it's a place where you can fill your water bottle, and down here is a diagram which I'll bet you 10 to 1 gives some idea of the history if we were to look at it. It appears that my walking the Camino and getting rid of my sins, although I didn't try, is helping me now. The clouds seem to be drifting off to the left later today. So I think this is a description of how this might have looked at one time. Notice that there are 2 fords, and that this may be one of the remaining ones. And then there were these, what other 1A and 1A are, those square things. I don't know what those are. But here you can see a diagram of what we're standing on. So I'm standing right here, right now. So I'm going to stand and turn around, and you'll be able to see what number 3 is, and that's this. And what this site was, my guess is the site was far more important in the past and different than it is. So this is the Porto Mina gate. A Contraporta rear door. 1B, which are those 2 things there, are Torres de Flanquero flanking towers. Okay, so there were 2 flanking towers. Maybe you entered through here then. Maybe that's the key. Those are towers. And what I showed you, number 1 is the portal. And then 2 is the escalares, ascendo, mitrala, so the wall access stairs. That must be what 1C, that's the... And then 3, which is that area we just walked down to, is the Fonte da Porto Mina Gate Fountain. So they have Spanish. So number 4 is the Roman sewer, and that would have been right in the center, right down here, so I don't see anything. The only thing we see here is certainly evidence of structures that would have been here in the past. Like, see those square holes and one up there? These might have held for a second floor, or somehow had beams in them that were used for support. These slots right here, of course, are usually what's used for doors. Either doors that slide up, which I don't see any evidence of, unless that's what that square hole there was, to support something like that. That'd be a metal mechanism like we saw in Eastern Europe. Or they were just where some support went for the door. You can see this is implying that this is part of the Camino. Interesting to me. So now we're looking up the wall where we've just come, and you can see that there were various structures at times attached to the wall by that diagonal that you see there, and probably these horizontals indicate something. Notice the large stones that form this base of the tower and that base of the tower. Notice that those stones terminate where that wall continues with a different form, whether that means at one time those walls were completely cannibalized or in fact done differently originally, I don't know. But a very pretty esplanade along the cathedral. And here just a little bit of evidence of something that would have been there. Ah, that's just where they put some electrical wiring. They probably had a wiring sometime or a light. And here we're looking back into that. Now whether some owner is just redoing that room or whether that's a cubicle that someone has rented and is restoring. That coat of arms is on the building that has the fountains at the bottom that we diagram of. This may give us a clue, this sign that speaks of the rehabilitation of Lugo and historical buildings, of which this may certainly be one, right next to this tower and gate or porta. Notice the sloped in cut off corner there to allow view out more easily. This another building to be historically preserved, the plastic with the cement on it to preserve the walls so they'll quit eroding. The maintenance or continuation of the timbers, which they apparently feel are better not exposed. And here what's nifty is the walkway in between the walls and the adjoining, some of the adjoining buildings on China. So here we are in front of the cathedral, not as grand looking as the one in either Leon or Burgos. And Steve says it's quite musty inside. I can see. I wonder if this is an original affectation of the wall and of a porta. My guess, Jesus and the four apostles. Here we're behind the altar where Mass is apparently in progress or slaying of Muslims.
Querido hermano, aunque espero ir a verte pronto, te escribo esto por si me... Aleluya. Doy gracias al Señor de todo corazón, en compañía de Dios, el honorable, el Señor es piadoso y clemente.
This would be the sacristy. These huge furniture would hold garments of the priests.
En aquel tiempo dijo el Señor: ¿a quién se parecen los hombres de...
Fortunately, the lady that stopped me at the end of my walk through there to tell me that I could not take any photos during the Mass. Fortunately, she told me at the end of my taking all my photos. But also, this is neoclassical or neo-baroque, whatever that means.